We're going to talk about rate of perceived exertion, or you'll see me put it in the programming is RPE. So if I put a workout in, like today, we had a 10K time trial on the bike erg or a 5K time trial on a row erg. You might see me put at a rate of perceived exertion, RPE of 7 to 8, right? So we're going to go over what that means and how the rate of perceived exertion applies to other workouts in your life as well. So it's a scale, 1 to 10. You might see it 1 to 20 as well. We're going to talk about 1 to 10 because that's the one I like to use. Obviously, the one at the bottom is very light. It goes up from there up to a max of 10. So if we see RPE 10, we're talking like you can do one all-out sprint and then you have to recover for 10 plus minutes. That's the type of effort that's really hard to get to. So if we're thinking about like an echo bike sprint, that might be a sub 20-second all-out, flat-out sprint where you're burning it up more than you ever have. And a lot of people can't even get to that point, right? Of all-out sprint where you have to knock off and be done. You might see this too close to a 10 and like even further if you're pushing like a 500-meter row, that might get you there. Or a really heavy sled push for max effort. But we're thinking short duration, max effort, you have to rest for 10 plus minutes just to get your blood normal again, right? From there it goes down to a very hard, which is represented as an RPE of 9, which is repeatable sprints. So if we put 20 seconds on, 10 off, it's repeatable. That effort you're doing, as long as you're keeping about the same watts for each sprint, that's an RPE 9, you're going hard, you're not talking to the person next to you, you're breathing hard, it's RPE 9, but you're repeating that sprint. So that's the differential of 10 to 9 is repeatable. From there, vigorous is a 7 to an 8. This is our reach pace. You might see me describe some workouts as a pace, as a reach. That's our 7 to 8. So this is something that we can sustain. So instead of a 500-meter row as an all-out, RPE of 10 or an RPE of 9, we're thinking like a 2K row or, well, similar to today's, a 10K bike. As you get closer to the end, you're starting to reach for that finish line, but you're still able to keep that same pace. You're not dropping off the meter too much, right? So that's our reach pace, 7 to 8 vigorous. We'll see a lot of pieces in that range. From there, a moderate, 4 to 6 is our number representation for that. We're looking at a sustain. So this would be something like a 10K or a 20K or anything in that 20-minute AMRAP type of range. Or we could do something 4 reps as well. So we do like 10 rounds for time. We could still have that as a sustained pace. It depends on the goal we're looking for. But sustain is a little bit outside of conversation. But if I came up to you and started asking you how your day's going or how you're feeling about this workout, you could probably get a few words out and then you're still working at that same pace, but it is a lower pace than our reach. From there, we go light and very light. So a light would be 2 to 3 would be like walking, going for a walk. Very light represented by 1 would be like household chores, tasks. ADLs are activities of daily life, taking care of your laundry, taking care of whatever you have to do around the house. Those are ADLs. House chores, it's movement, it's activity. You might specify this as something else called NEAT, which is all-encompassing in your whole life, which is necessary, but this really isn't gonna move the needle for you. This is just daily living. Right, so that's our RPEs as a breakdown. So you'll see me put these in programming. So now you have a representation of them. Hope you have a good idea of especially the reach and the sustain difference, right? Further off of this last point, our sustain, you might look at it as a zone 2 on the higher end, right? Our walking might still be specified as a zone 2 if it's a fairly aggressive walk. You can get that in a zone 2 as well. Our 7 to 8 reach pace, we're looking closer to zone 3, maybe a low 4, and this is for sure 4 and 5 up here, right? Overall, if you're looking at the different RPEs and rates of perceived exertion and your whole training and your life, you need all of them. One's not more important than the other. However, you're gonna see more in this range because they have more bang for their buck, right? This is really gonna move the needle for our cardiovascular progression and progress. We're gonna see this less, harder to recover from, and these you should be doing every day no matter what. There you go.